Oh, sorry.
I don't know what's going on there, but hello, everybody. Happy holidays. And what do we got going on there, Sarah? Or
That was
Holly
just
or
Tom
Holly?
Nook. He's a dirty trash panda.
A lot of chaos going on in the back scenes here.
Yeah, you guys have no idea what goes on behind the scenes of these things. It's just no idea. It's probably illegal in a couple of the states. But, hello, junkies. How's everyone doing tonight? I see, who do we got on? Vita, Bradley. There's some guy, James Hartkoff. He's in here.
Oh, look at that
Anybody know him?
guy. I've heard of
Is
him.
that the guy from the Holiday Inn?
I think it's the guy from the
Yeah,
Skull meeting.
yeah, he might.
From
I
the
think
motel.
Hotel, motel, Holiday Inn. Oh God, this I could see where the show's going already.
It's not going well.
It's going off the rails.
Can I show what's off camera left?
In the park.
So it's sad to say that the season's over already.
Thanks, Bob.
No,
Killjoy.
had to state the obvious there. So. But we had a great 2022. We had a lot of opportunities as a group. Quite a bit of new things went on at the park all season long. So we have a lot to talk about. I mean, we can kind of touch on. I think let's talk about kind of like the highlights and things that went on during the year, and if any of you have something like personal that really stood out in terms of something that has happened, just chime in. We don't have a script on this, and we're just going to kind of, wing it.
Our best of, like our highlight.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of like the highlight, best of reel here.
Does anybody recognize that
who's
one?
This? It's
I
some
don't know.
weird elf.
Some hack. They let anyone in this group.
Oh my God.
I would have to say, I think it's a weird favorite. It's not like a favorite event, but my favorite was having the mobile skip the line. Just being able to use my skip the lines.
Yes, and not having to stand in the line. I mean, even goes for those, like Brent with Flash Pass. There was no more line.
Yeah, the Flash was great. I mean, all of the mobile, honestly, if you wanted to really compare it to the previous years where things were pretty hit or miss, I don't recall waiting in a whole lot of food lines. I was mobile ordering food. I was mobile flash passing. I was mobile everything.
Yeah.
Yes. The technology part of it was great. I mean,
I really wish they would get the disability pass on mobile. That would save so much. You have a disability, yet you're waiting in line, sometimes very long lines, to simply get a pass.
Yeah, especially since it's going through a third party. It's already being verified, so.
Right. And even if, if it, due to staffing, if it all has to go out of guest relations, at least have sort of a dedicated kind of line in there. There's no reason somebody with ADA should be standing behind somebody who's got issues with, purchasing their pass or whatnot.
Karen, that's her name.
Her name is Karen. Yes. So, I mean, in terms of the opportunities, I mean, just think about, we were given an opportunity before the park even opened this year.
Amen. And so thankful for that one for us. And I really hope it was such a benefit to the park.
Yeah, that food, for those who aren't sure what we're talking about, we were invited in, was about a week before the park opened?
I think it was a week before, maybe they had a buyout that weekend, maybe a week or week two before. Was it 2 before the park opened and there was a buyout in between?
Yeah.
It was like mid-April.
Mid-April, we were all invited in to, I shouldn't say all of us. It was us and 300 of our closest friends from the group here all came in and sort of helped do a little food training by doing nothing other than what we all enjoy, eating food.
Yeah. It was like walk up if you weren't there. It was walk up and order what you wanted. They just wanted an opportunity to be able to make it.
And it was full-size orders.
Yeah, I was really surprised.
And all they asked in turn was they gave us a little card and asked us to fill out a survey with every bit of the experience. And I was detailed, and I swore my kids to detail too. You do not order food unless you fill out the survey. And you just provide every bit of feedback about the experience, from ordering time, friendliness, greeting, right through the food, temperature, prep, taste.
And we'll say that our opening weekend, if we look at comments comparing this year to other years, it did a service to everybody.
It did. It really did. And since this kind of touches on food and beverage, I want to knock out a quick message from the food and beverage team before we get too far in this. And I completely forgot that I was going to pass a message on. So the food and beverage team would like to thank everyone. They appreciate all of our feedback, the good, the bad, and ugly. We help them to make themselves better and improve. They want to keep this going, and happy holidays to everybody. Thank you, food and beverage team. Thank you,
food and beverage team. Absolutely.
You guys are amazing. Y'all rock.
They make the experience. You don't go there and not eat, and that's a big part of it. In years past, that's been a kind of a bad part of it. When you had to wait 40 minutes for food, that was not fun. They killed it this year.
I remember, and this was before this group was a thing. We had I think it was the year that we had the soft open weekend, and it was a disaster because it was really nice. And then the first week of the water park, the lines were horrendous. And I caught the ear of somebody who was in that department, and they're like, well, what would you like to see done? And I was just like, I just want to see like managers and team members like just pitching in when they're in the weeds, and just having a sense of urgency. And those were the things that we saw. We always saw management pitching in. We always saw everybody helping each other, and they were always above and beyond courteous to guests. That was the norm. If you got something else, that was an anomaly. So, and I'd say everywhere, just the friendliness of the employees was much improved.
Towards the end was a little bit better too, even though they weren't prepared for it and they had the ride ops doing the food. They still, technically, they did do a really good job with trying to keep everything in flow with not knowing how to do that stuff. Because it's hard doing food. And then when you're used to doing something else and you get thrown in the middle of trying to figure out what to do, they actually did a really good job.
Yeah, everyone stepped up and, gave them some slack, because you had a lot of either rides or games, people trying to prepare food that they've never done before, and they probably never even worked in the food industry. So that's kind of like my JB's kind of scaled back their menu that last, for Veterans Day, and make it just a little bit simpler and be able to get food out a little bit quicker to everyone.
Yeah, it's nice that they stepped up and helped, because or else they wouldn't have had any of the food places open either.
Right.
They stepped up and tried to go in a different area.
Yeah, we also, speaking of food and beverage, we got a few new things on the menu this year. The Dole Whip.
The Dole Whip.
One of those. Or, as I should say, as the park is allowed to say, Dole Soft Serve.
Oh, yes.
So drop in the chat, what was your favorite new food item this year? What was your favorite? What would you like to see stay that was new? Even if it was a temporary item, say buffalo mac and cheese.
Hint, hint.
Or anything from Oktoberfest. Is there something that you're like, I want this to stay at the park? Drop it in the chat.
Well, right away, there's Mike Burke with the
There's Mike.
Mac and cheese. I'd have to agree with that.
Brats.
Mac and cheese.
Brats.
Keep the soup. From our Facebook user, I'm not sure who you are.
Facebook user. Come on, register already.
Register so we see your name.
Might be a hard sell in August, but who knows?
Vita wants the brats.
Yep, I got
I think we
another
all
mac
want
and
the
cheese.
brats.
Yep, Gary's with the mac and cheese. Yep. Here's another Facebook user with the walking tacos. That is another item that
Oh
was
my goodness, yes.
brought to the park this year.
Walking tacos, and the food truck came back, so I was happy.
It did, with multiple things. It had the Big Lou's menu, and it had the
I
the
mean,
mac
I'll
and cheese.
take it back to 2021. I would love to see the jerk chicken. I guess the jerk chicken did come back for Taste of Six Flags, didn't it?
Yes, I think that was on the Taste of Six Flags menu.
Yes.
Somebody's asking how to get their name to show up. I've got the, let me kind of pop this on the screen. There you go. Just go to streamyard.com/Facebook and you can register and we'll see your picture and your name. And
Oh, the Apple thing. Oh, was that the? We had that, and then didn't we have that and it disappeared, or we had that last year all year? Is it the Apple? Apple was it Apple turnover? Apple dumpling?
there was, I think, for a while, it was last season, they had the apple turnover, and then Holiday in the Park had the apple funnel cake, which I was
Apple
hoping
strudel.
was going to make a return for the fall season, but we ended up getting our pumpkin spice funnel cake, which, by the way, I've told everybody in here, I absolutely hate pumpkin, but I can eat that funnel cake all day long.
Oh, Aunt Martha's chicken. Yeah, it was nice having that out of claim jumpers. Made it much easier. Although it was kind of fun to like know the secret club and the little secret club in the picnic grove last year was fun, but it was hard to, I understand that would be hard to keep that open. Local
More
craft
craft beer.
beer. All right.
I can get on board with that one.
Oh, fish back in the main park.
Yes.
Well, and I know they did the taste thing, but didn't they do it late at night, if I remember right?
Yeah,
like-
It was later.
Taste of Six Flags, yes. That was a great event, which, again, speaking of opportunities we were given that kind of special
Oh yeah.
pricing for Taste of Six Flags, if anyone remembers that.
That would have been a little bit nicer, in my opinion, because I go to work at 4:00 in the morning, so I got to get up at 3. It would have been nicer if it was like more during the day, like they had it last year, like the year before, when they had it during the day and you could go around.
I do like that they added the extra ride time with it, so they made it more of an event.
Yes.
But I didn't end up going to that one for the same reason as I just can't. I think at the time we didn't know that punches could go for multiple days, and then I was like, I can't get through all those punches at night and eat food. But I heard it was a blast for anyone who was able to go and enjoy that exclusive time.
Yeah, it was a great event, and rides were walk on. I want to say Laura and I, we were on Raging Bull. I think Mark and Heather, we were on there. Would we go like 4 or 5 times, and we finally had to hop off just because we couldn't take it anymore.
So for those who aren't there was a Taste of Six Flags event last year, which was just a kind of almost like a Taste of Chicago, where you get your punch card or your tickets and you stop in the booths. This year it became an event similar to how other theme parks have after hours events and extra ride time. So you couldn't, whereas in the past you just bought the amount of punches that you wanted. This time you had to buy the whole package, which came with a certain amount of punches, and Junkies got bonus, right? For this one we got extra punch cards. We're always given.
Was it a few extra punches, or was it a little bit of a discount?
It was a discount.
Oh, discount.
It was a discount off the price.
So and it was pretty reasonable if I remember correctly. Was it like 50 and then we got it for 40, or
it was? Yeah, it was. I think we might have got it for 30 and it was going for 40.
Okay.
It's somewhere.
So it was nowhere like doing like a Mickey's Not So.
No, we're not paying hundreds of dollars for an after hours event.
But the value this year that they made it, instead of just, I think I'll buy a punch, you bought access to the event, and they had performances going on and the evening ride time, and they were beautiful summer evenings. So I do think that it was a special event. We just have to get used to they're building some new things in the canon of Six Flags that'll be like what Fright Fest is to us now. We may see these events as they become more and more popular, but
I almost felt this one was underattended.
Yeah, I just don't think people knew. I mean, the value of that ride time and how happy, like I had
huge.
Serious FOMO not going just with how much fun people seemed to be having just hanging out.
I was with a little junkie who just cleared the ride height for max, and we went 7 laps, never got off. 7 laps on max. That is an crazy private rental kind of stuff going on there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
For the number of people who waited to ride that thing 45 to 90 minutes just once, to get up there and just sit on it is great.
Yeah, and it's good to see, with the 2023 event calendar, that Taste of Six Flags will be back again. So
Yeah, we're
Same thing
told that events are here to stay, that this is part of the new model, and we see some more on the calendar that we're excited to find out more about.
well, Sarah, maybe, just maybe, you'll get your wine.
Not even a wine drinker, but I did tell Mr. Park President that my demographic would love to walk around.
Actually, not Park President, CEO.
Oh no, CEO, yeah, the big man. He was like, so what do you like? I said, you get the mom Cirrus and little wine sippy cups. You're golden. There she is.
Oh, there's a cat. No show's complete without the cat. Yeah, Sarah and we actually had the opportunity to have a little bit of a discussion with Salim near the end of the season at Oktoberfest. We even shared popcorn with him.
Yeah, we did get some freebies.
We did. He was giving us popcorn like there was no tomorrow.
And you could not say no.
You
Don't
could not
listen,
say no.
shareholders.
Hello.
But he was fascinated by the idea. I think a lot of times when people think of a regional theme park, they think of somebody driving an hour or 2 or 3, and that's their weekend getaway. But he was fascinated by people like us who come. He's like, so you come every weekend, or you come a lot of times? He's like, why do you come? I'm like, well, things like Oktoberfest that make it fresh and new are great.
Yeah,
And
Oktoberfest was probably some of the best food that's been in the park. I mean,
Yeah.
hands down.
I mean, if we go back to the Fall Fest, we had some similar great offerings, but I think Oktoberfest just took it up a notch. Several notches.
Yes, several notches, and there was rarely a visit to the park where I did not make that purchase at Oktoberfest. I mean, yes, we were taken care of, and again, we appreciate everything that the park does for us as much as we do for them, and getting that discount off of the Oktoberfest food was awesome.
Yeah, and it still got us paying, regulars who have meal plans. It got us paying out of pocket every time, even if it was like a pretzel.
Oh yeah, I bought food. It's hard to get me to do that, especially when my gift card was empty. But I bought food.
No,
Yeah.
Laura was a big fan of the beer cheese, the pretzels.
I loved it. It was not like your regular cheese, and it tasted great.
Yeah, I have one here that she had to have that every time. Oh, the Batman ride.
Yes, we did get that great exclusive where, again, for those newer members to the group, let's just kind of get them caught up. For National Roller Coaster Day, I want to say that was the event we were invited out for. Well, technically, we were not invited. We were asked if we could possibly come help fill up a roller coaster train for Batman, because Ace did not have enough people to ride. But so there was a good handful of junkies who got to come out. I know Laura was part of that. Mike was part of that. Sarah, I think you were there, right? You were.
I was there. I sent, I think, 2 of my kids rode. Laura was their guardian.
Yes. I had 2 of Sarah's kids.
So yeah, we were invited to that. We were also part of the Flash commercial shoot. That was mostly junkies that we casted for that particular event. I don't think it actually made it out to media coverage, but I know it was a lot of that was used for the B footage that we had for Media Day, which we were also thankful, and we thank the park again for the invite out to Media Day for the DC Universe. That was fun. I know Brent, Laura were on the Flash with their great on-ride video that can be found on our YouTube channel.
I'm
That was
still a
great.
little salty that like no one else RSVP'd for the media day for the show, and so
Yes, for those that don't know, I don't even know how many actually on our team actually are aware of this. We were invited to Media Day for Kinetic.
which they don't. I don't think they've always done that for the shows.
So since it was such a new show, they hosted a Media Day. Well, the Junkies were the only ones that signed up for Media Day. And Media Day was canceled.
And everyone else missed out because Kinetic
Although-
was awesome.
The park did offer the Junkies. I did not take them up on it, but they said, you know, you can come. We'll give you reserved seating or a good spot for the first regular show of the day. That wasn't necessary, but I cannot believe that people would pass that opportunity. It was a great show. It took me a while to get to see it, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think we had some things going on nationally or politically that week that kind of took up a lot of media time.
Always have that.
Always have that, but
We don't
Yeah.
speak of it because that would be a 7-day mute.
right, we are a non-political group here, so we do not make any political
Oh, look, I can
comments
mute people.
or statements.
Oh, so how do you? Yeah, as we have events, so I mean, we don't even know. Like, we don't tend to reach out to the park. They've just been really kind, and they know that we're a built-in fan base, and we'll always find the people. But as we find out events, a lot of times it's a very quick turnaround. Most of the time, when we find out about the event, Bob, wouldn't you say like having a week is probably a generous amount of time?
That's generous, but most of the time it's a matter of days. I think with the Flash commercial, I had to get the Junkies booked within a matter, I think it was 48 hours.
Yeah, it's usually pretty quick. So you might want to put we don't put the exclusive events, we don't put on our page, our public facing page. That's something exclusive to our private Facebook group. And we do pin things to the top where you see the carousel. And it's always good to check in and check or put in the notifications. You can turn them on or off as things go, but things go that fast. I know we had a wait list even for when we had the food event that filled up, and then we added as people weren't able to come. But yeah, it's a quick turnaround, and so we share them as fast as we can. We don't have like 2 tiers. They go out publicly for everybody, and those who follow the group closely, they just tend to see everything.
Yeah, and it's on events like that, we generally will take you first come, first serve. So
Yeah.
the more you pay attention to the group, the more offers and opportunities that you're going to see. I mean, even the picnic, we had 300 and that booked up within a matter of days.
Yeah, that was, I mean, I want to say that one was booked up with a wait list within like a day and a half. We were on the
Yeah.
wait list already.
We were like, what, 500? We were at a total of like 200 people on the wait list. So we had like 500 people.
And many got to go. But I mean, we love when, if you are someone who's never met up, that's a perfect time to meet other members of the group. It's because it's a structured time and we love meeting people there. I think the funniest story I have this year is watching one of my daughter's marching band camp, like end of camp thing, and then having someone say, "Are you from the Junkies?" My son recognized you. And they had done the Rockford last year we did the B-roll footage for the Rockford Water Park, and their family had done the shoot with us. So we never know when we're going to see them in different places.
I ran into a junkie at Costco and got asked if I was a junkie. And I was like, first of all, they didn't say Six Flags junkie. They just said, "Hey, aren't you a junkie?" And I was like, yeah. But I had my jacket on. I had my hat on. I didn't think I was noticeable, but I guess I'm becoming more noticeable.
Did they ask where Bob was?
They did not ask about Bob. They only asked about me.
So every year I meet a few more people. I'm a little, I'm a little more covert in the park than some of the others. But it's really fun to just feel like there's a family, and just having all these events really help. So the park's providing events for the public, which we see each other at, but then the park's giving us some other opportunities that create some other junkies memories. I do see Gary threw up there. We forgot to say, if you weren't at the picnic, we had some surprise desserts that were, I mean, it looked like the kind of desserts you would have, like say you had dessert service in a skybox or something. They were really nice. They were really good, delicious. And yes, I would love to see those. Or maybe a dessert party, with some VIP seating to fireworks or something, a little dessert. That would be so yummy.
That would be awesome.
That would be, a great dessert, like a dessert party for like 4th of July.
Yes.
Dessert party with the fireworks.
Do it in Hurricane Harbor, where when it closes, have a little dessert party. It's a perfect place to look. We'd pay.
Let's make this happen. Reach out to Sarah
times.
or I. We will help coordinate this event. Let's do this. And then speaking of picnic, we do not have a date yet for 2023, but I can tell you right now there will be a 2023 Junkies picnic. That's
we tend
no
to
doubt
pick a Sunday at
about
the end
that.
of August. So we anticipate we'll continue to pick a Sunday at the end of August.
Yes, it just works out so much better for everyone involved, and also them being able to provide the presentation. It just makes Sundays are the easier day. If you are new to the group, once a year, we're on our second annual Junkies picnic this year. So we get the picnic grove for a couple hours. It's all you can eat food. Then we usually get a presentation. The first year we got a lot of insight on Fright Fest and kind of the backstory a little bit of Fright Fest. And we had no idea that some of the haunted houses just kind of evolve year after year. So that was kind of eye-opening. This year we got kind of the inside scoop and backstory on Kinetic. We actually had a few of the performers, and I'll tell you right now, I'm still jealous of Ann McDade for getting that Kinetic banner.
Yeah,
like the raffle question.
With our picnics, we do only so much planning. Like we will plan, we did a photo booth last year. This year we did a gratitude table with writing some thank you notes. We'll put a couple things, but they'll say, yeah, we're going to give you something. Like someone will come from the park, but they've brought a ton of raffle prizes every year. And then
yes, we thank you for that.
They brought all of a sudden, David Majors is asking questions about trivia questions, and he brings out the banners that have been in the park for Kinetic and gave them away. It was so cool.
Yeah, I was a little jealous I will say I was a little jealous of that. I was like, oh man, that's the coolest thing. I'm like, well, it's our picnic. We really can't be answering trivia questions. So it's about our members, and it's usually a relatively low ticket price to attend our picnic. Tickets aren't more than $20. I know we get a lot of pushback. They're like, well, I have a meal plan in the park, but you're not getting the presentation. You're not getting all you can.
They gave us some. There's prizes. It's all you can eat. It's the park access. They not only do they usually bring a presentation. The last 2 years, it has been from entertainment. Where we never know what it's going to be, but then they've made ride supervisors available, ride management available for. And this year also guest relate, or was just rides for Q&A?
Kevin Shaw did just rides.
Okay, rides. Yeah. So it's as James said, and it's character dining. We always have characters walking around.
Yes, with photo opportunity. So it's just great. And plus you get to hang out with a whole bunch of junkies. I want to say we had over 100 and 50 this year. I want to say that number's even a little bit higher than that.
Yeah.
In our first year, we got so much exclusive that we even had the ringmaster there.
Yeah, that was
The
really cool.
Ringmaster did make an appearance the first year.
Yeah. So, as we grow, we don't ever, you tend to see the same faces come up in pictures, and it's definitely, if you see a big group, we did our own holiday in the park. We've done some of our own
we
theme
did.
days, and we'd like to expand some of that. We were talking like in the spring, even trying to do our own version of a Dapper Day or a Decades Day, or we've done some theme time. Just definitely show up. We had a lot of people for our holiday. We did a holiday in the park where we call it Christmas in July. And we just all dressed up in holiday things, and we walked around the park singing Christmas songs. We rode the train. It was really nice. At the time, it had not been quite confirmed that we weren't having a holiday in the park, but the writing was on the wall. But it was kind of fun to have that time together and meet even more people in doing it.
Yeah,
and if you see us in the park, come up to us, say hi. None of us bite. Even Bob does not bite.
Well, near the end of the season, I think some of our members were a little less shy because we now have our Junkies pins that we're passing out.
We do,
so.
because we hit 10,000 people in the group.
Yep. Yeah, this was the year we did hit 10,000 people, which is amazing. But yeah, if you ever want to, even if we're hanging in a big group, walk up, say hi. If you want a photo, we'll take a photo with you. It's, we don't bite. It's, we might have to do some more of those photo challenges where you got to get your photo with everyone on.
Yeah, we started strong with those, and then people stopped doing. We'll make some more. Got to do I might have to have a prize with it. We have to step up our prize game.
We'll have to find spots to hide through the park too.
Let's think, and I think our chat can help us, because as much as we know that we're in a time of transition, and we like to remind everyone that what's always been, or what you've done in years past isn't necessarily what's going to happen. Especially, we can't count on past prices, or even the type of pass staying the same for longer than 4 weeks. There's a lot of things changing, and it's an exciting time, because then we're seeing new traditions start to be built. So what are some grows? We've had our glows. What are some things that we definitely would like to see fixed, addressed, changed? And you can help us in the chat too.
Yeah, here you go. You're talking.
I'm going to need Skytrek Tower to open up one of these days.
Yes,
Eat in the kitchen.
They tried. They at least tried.
Then you won't talk.
Jamie's having her own conversation with somebody. I'm not quite sure what's happening there. It's
yeah, it is nice to have some of those original, like we are a park that loves the heritage of our park, and we're losing just some age. Some of those original rides. So like there's nothing like on a hot day just going up into Skytrek Tower, feeling the air conditioning. I know they really want to ride it or to get it working, but yeah, I'd love for it to open.
Hey, it's great having the train open.
Yeah.
Yes, the train.
I'd like to see the second train. I know I've seen, and we've all been backstage, but it is backstage.
It is there.
Oh,
they said the water rides need to be open more.
At Whirl.
Water rides. Yeah.
Well, Aquaman made it a couple days.
That's like a credit. Then it was so short-lived, and I feel badly because I know that this isn't for lack of trying, and no one puts that much time and effort into a ride to have it only open. So we know it's not intentional, but to have the credit of Aquaman, and I think I actually have Aquaman, I have the credit of it as Yankee Clipper. Does anyone know the third name of that? It was in the it's a branding. It was a co-branding of what the other name of it. I have all 3 credits.
Ooh. I don't even know the answer to this question.
Ah, it was
No, dude.
at some point in the late 90s and 2000s. They were probably knew James would get it. Yes, Ice Mountain Splash. So I have all 3 credits. Yeah, James is like our water ride. Like, if you want to know anything about how the water rides work or any of those rides, like that was where James grew up. So he is the one to ask. He will know all those pieces.
Yep, and I was glad to see, we got Roaring Rapids open, and then a bunch of us junkies were on it, and we broke Roaring Rapids. We legit broke the ride after we got off. They had to close it down. But
That's the one where it like valleyed in the wrong, or
it either valleyed, but it hit something really hard that just it just was not right. We almost were launched. Like, thank God for the seatbelts on the ride. We were
It almost threw some of the little kids that were with us.
Do they have somebody on the island yet on Roaring Rapids? Like, did they restore that position?
I'm trying to think if somebody was up there or not. I think they were.
Because I have a suggestion. Honorary, I mean, people would, the honorary person on the island, honorary blaster. I would love to just do that for a day. Just blast people. We did not see Buccaneer Battle even attempt to open. It was closed for the season the whole time. Let's see. Any other grows that I think there was a big one for Fright Fest, I think, is weighing on quite a few of us for something we'd like to see change. And I don't know if Jay-Z wants to go with that one.
She's thinking about it.
No.
She's saying no.
I mean, I can always be the Karen, or someone else can be the Karen. It's not really a Karen thing. It's a safety thing.
Well, yeah, it is a safety thing. I'll go ahead and say it. I know, this is kind of recap trying to be happy, but it's just kind of request when you have it as policy that adults are not allowed to wear full-blown costume and makeup in the park, that turns into a safety problem. I've seen Michael Myers in the park that was a guest that was like trying to like follow people around. I've seen another woman dressed like with complete like zombie makeup on her face. It's either you allow it or you put a stop to it. You just don't kind of look the other way. And is it possible that some people are maybe bringing makeup in and putting it on once they're in the park? Yes. How do you control that? But if you see that, you need to either ask them to remove the makeup or you leave the park. It's just,
And if the park doesn't want to have that policy, then the park definitely, it's within their power to take that policy, to change it. But I feel safer knowing that anyone who comes, I know what the rules and expectations are for the scare actors, and I know where the boundaries are for the scare actors. I don't for another guest who's dressed up, or even dressed up with a weapon, with like what look-alike weapon. I don't know what their boundaries are. So that was one thing that was concerning. I know it's really hard and uncomfortable to, try to monitor that. But if you don't say anything, then there's no point in having the rule.
Right. And just let everybody come dressed however you want to come dressed.
We had seen a Michael Myers. It was a kid. I'll give it that. It was a kid, maybe 13. And they had like a fake knife. And it's like, how does that even get through? And we had said something to them, and the mom had taken it away and put it in the wagon. But I'm sure, and it was obvious, as soon as she went around the corner, the knife just came right back out.
Any other, I mean, that was our, I think other than that, I think it was a great Fright Fest as far as like having the Boo Fest and then having that real clear line between, that 5 and 6 get out, we're going to be scary.
Yeah, in Oktoberfest,
other piece with Fright Fest would be the houses having, when the people are on break, going through and the suggestion of, shutting down the entire house and the whole house goes on break at the same time.
So at Universal, I know this is a different budget and it's a different world, but having gone to Universal for 2 of the Halloween Horror Nights, I kept thinking that there were like dementors in all the parts of the houses because you'd see these people in robes that were being escorted to houses. They actually have like another crew of scare actors, and they never let the scare actors be seen. So they put them in like hoods so they do look like dementors. And then they walk them into the house. They stop the house for about like it takes about 2 to 5 minutes, and then a new group comes in, and I don't know, they can't even staff the houses they have, and then the old group comes out for the break, so they kind of use them as breakers. But I yeah, there's nothing worse than going through a house and knowing, and then there's one actor who's trying to cover the whole thing. It's like, oh, it's you again, and you must be really tired.
Oh, I'm gonna pop something on the screen, and I was sort of a witness to this. I seen a person take Laura down to the ground in a haunted house. It wasn't condemned.
Wasn't it bloodshed?
It was bloodshed.
It was bloodshed.
Not to mention any names, Mike Burke here, but yeah.
But
Laura
Mike Burke was present, I believe.
He was present.
Yeah.
He was somehow next to Laura, and they both.
I mean, he was there for a minute, but then all of a sudden he wasn't there.
Right. And I turned and looked. I think he was down. He went down for the count. He corrected himself. He just.
Aren't we just glad that he didn't piddle on the floor?
No, there was no one said that didn't happen.
Yeah, I'll say another glow. Like I was excited about the Skip the Line integration. I was super excited that number one, our free Diamond Elite haunt pass was honored, but that they just gave us a full season pass that we could use. Yeah. I thought that was so nice, not having to wait and find a wristband, or even that I could go multiple times. So it was last year that it was digital, which was cool, but then you had to find the link and you could only go one time. That was a really, really nice idea to just give us the all season haunt pass.
Yeah, and this was actually pretty cool to see at the end of Fright Fest, the dance party that went on. We missed the first little bit of it. We were kind of saying our goodbyes to the cast of Love at First Fright, and I was approached by a member of the entertainment team. He's like, hey, do you know there's a dance party going on outside? I was like, what? He goes, yeah, there's a dance party. So walked out there, and sure enough, there was a full-blown dance party, and they were all dancing. Knox was out there. Witchy had a great performance of Time Warp by them and Thriller.
I mean, I cannot say enough. Those Fridays and Sunday nights on for Fright Fest, there are so many value-added surprises. First of all, Fridays, they're where it's at anyway. This is the first year we've been able to go to Fridays for a long time. It's always a great crew. Like everyone just wants to be, they want to go in for Fright Fest. There's only one purpose. It's never that busy, but it's also not so dead that it's not fun. But Sunday nights is where you tend to get surprises. So things like, as James put up, the scare actors riding the carousel. That was a Sunday, right?
That was a Thursday, I think.
Thursday. I think they did that on the Thursday night.
Yeah.
That happens every year, once a year, and it's the one night I think the scare actors love the best.
Well, and then there's Sundays where you can get the Ringmasters cast. There's once a year you can get the Ringmasters cast jumping in on Love at First Fright and the vice versa.
Yep.
The more you know, the more surprises you're going to get.
Yep, and our junkie takeovers, and one of us here was up on stage dancing during Love at First Fright.
Yeah.
So I had some other things. One of my favorites, honestly, I was never good at Justice League in 3D. I am so happy to see that thing in 2D. I might be in the minority there, but to me, that was just so much easier and more fun.
I think so too, because I think the glasses were always kind of wet, and then you couldn't see, and then the screen was dark. Um, I don't miss the glasses. I don't think the 3D really added anything.
Yeah, as one that could never even see the 3D. And I haven't heard a single person this entire call mention Tajin or Tajin. Help me out.
Tahini.
Tajin.
Tahini. The tahini fruit cup, or putting tahini on everything.
And now I apologize for kind of jumping in and piping in just randomly all over the place here, but I've had a lot of background noise up until now. One other thing for me was just, they Captain Cold Dole Whip, they opened that thing and they gave me the honor. They actually sang happy birthday to me because I spent my 50th birthday at the park and they were so awesome to me. Just wanted to shout out to the group that did that. You guys are so cool. Thank you.
Yes,
if you're
thank
celebrating a birthday, like give us a little picture and be like, I'm going to be in the park. I'm celebrating my birthday.
Oh yeah, we could. With 10,000 junkies, if you have that out there ahead of time, I'm sure you're going to get your Disney share of happy birthdays.
Oh, for sure.
The balloons helped, didn't they, Brett?
Yeah, wish that never happened. Security, if you ever see my mother-in-law coming with balloons, don't allow her in, please.
So all in all, it was a nice season. We didn't have like that much we didn't open a new ride. We had retheming of some rides and a new area, but really exciting to see new traditions and new things come. I think that's just it breathes some fresh air into the park. We have our traditions that we love. We will still continue to say, all of us would love to be talking about the first weekend of holiday in the park.
Yes.
We really do miss that. And the fact that we had a thread yesterday with over 100 comments of other things that people are doing in the area people are frequenting that they would have been coming to the park shows that we really would love. I know we're not the only demographic, but we really would love our holiday in the park back. Maybe not today because it's really windy and cold. It'd be a little rough.
Yeah. Speaking of other random topics, we on the water parks, can any of our team speak to the Tsunami Surge raft saga and where we're at right now? Because that got real dodgy somewhere mid-season with the shortage of rafts. And I heard stories about things and reasons why it seemed like the lines were so long. And then it got better, or did it get better?
It did get better.
Okay.
My understanding, unofficially, very unofficially, very, very, very unofficially, from a source who actually is no longer at the park, is that there was a shipping delay on the rafts. They're very specialized rafts, not just for that, but for any of the rides. Hey!
Hi!
They were stuck. They had to come over Germany?
Yeah, I heard Germany.
And there was an issue. I mean, I don't know that the quality was there because there was a lot of popping of rafts popping, and then they have to patch them and they put them out, and then I think there was like one great weekend or maybe two great weekends, and then
we were back in shortage land again.
Shortage.
Oh.
And from what I heard, they're very pricey. So I don't know. I would say that if you're somebody who enjoys the water park, just be careful getting in and out of the rafts.
And if you're someone who loves the water park, maybe order some now.
I don't know. I'm not gonna say. I'll text you later.
Oh, great.
I don't want to make a statement. Anyway, yeah.
Moving on.
I think it is sad because it helped. We can't really enjoy Tsunami Surge without rafts.
Yeah.
And we can't really enjoy. There's a good number of a good number of questions about the rafts, even about where the tube rentals could go and where they couldn't go. And then not having the body slides open, that was kind of, I mean, I understand that they need a certain amount of maintenance, but I hope, like as Brent says, well, maybe we could do that now. Because yeah, having
And
more slides would be great.
the part
Getting
that
fancy with the split screen,
Yeah.
two different cameras. Hector and Dana, since you're joining us late, what was your highlight of the 2022 season?
Hope you're muted.
I muted because of the echo thing.
Mute.
There you go.
Mute.
You're good.
Yeah.
Go
Can you
ahead.
hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, we can.
Mine was definitely when Little Witchy met Big Witchy.
Yes.
That was adorable.
And those who don't know, Dana and Hector, they get to claim she's mini everything, mini ring, or the little girl who's been now used in a lot of Fright Fest. They've used her like on the site a few times, right?
Yeah. They used her on the website. They used her on Facebook. Twice. On Instagram twice.
I think
A couple different times.
Lake County used her too. Advertising.
Oh yeah, Lake County used her also.
Just because she has a costume every day that she goes, and we've never had a little witchy, so it was really, they get a lot of little ringmasters, and it was really special.
Yeah, Laura and I were there to witness that one, watching actually Witchy jump off of the trolley during the Uprising parade to give their daughter a hug. And I have the photo of the reaction when Witchy seen Little Witchy. It's priceless.
Yeah, I think another favorite moment of ours was when David Major had somebody call us in to do a picture with the Kinetic cast. Like we hadn't asked for that, and we just told him how much he loved the show, and we walked out, and he had somebody come back and say, next time you're here, let us know, and we'll get a picture with the cast. And
that is so cool. This is
cool.
Just the greatest crew of amusement park operators. It's a whole bunch of people that just care, and those little things make it so much better for everyone. Thanks again to the team over there.
Junkie Takeover. I do feel like I'm seeing Bradley put up Junkie Takeover of the Wave Pool. We did not do nearly enough at the water parks this year. And I definitely think that our group needs to. Now it's hard. Some people don't have access to them on their passes, but if you bought at the Cyber Monday sale, you do. It would be nice to do more at those water parks. We can do a takeover. There's going to be nowhere to sit if you don't have $20. But
we'll all go in on a king size cabana.
It'll make Brent
20, we pay 45 on Father's Day.
Okay, there. If Sarah originally asked for something that we could improve, put the doggone cabana back on my points so I can claim the reason I saved all those points.
Also, while we're on the topic of points, Six Flags IT. Is there not a way for someone to redeem the same thing more than once? Because I've redeemed almost everything other than things that I don't need, like a 50% off discount day. I don't need that. But like if I go, I tested again, wasted, I don't know, what is a $20 retail thing? Is that like $5,000? I don't know, whatever, 10,000. I don't know. I tried it again. I can keep buying these things. Like if I've gotten an icy before, I can only get it one time, but it'll keep taking my points and then keep showing all expired coupons. So like I got an icy, got it for free, shows up expired. If I loaded points for 5 more ices, I'm going to have 6 expired coupons show up because they don't know how to program these coupons. So let's either do away with the points program because none of us can use it anyway, or let's actually make it so we can use our points because then we'll buy more things to do things with points. Please.
Or cabanas.
Or Cabanas.
I'll stop making fun of the Six Flags IT if they actually do some good things. For the record, I said nice things about Six Flags IT. I said I liked the skip the lines. I liked the digital skip the lines. I don't like that it takes you to an extra site. Like it's not really integrated with, so I have to toggle, but at least it's progress. And I like the mobile order, but I also like using my points. And I liked the free cabanas.
I don't understand though why on the mobile order the chicken tenders went away from every restaurant except for Johnny Rockets.
Oh.
Like you can walk up to the thing and order the chicken tenders, but you can't order them on mobile order from any restaurant except Johnny Rockets.
And the kids meal. The kids meal they got rid of it over in the food court too.
Yeah.
And I do like that kids meal. That's like perfect for me.
Just when Rebecca started liking it, so we started getting it for her, and then they take it away.
That kids meal, if you haven't had the kids meal, especially in a day if you forget your cup, it's the best because you get a juice box with it.
Juice box.
I noticed that everyone was representing.
Yes.
Although I'm sitting here with my Fright Fest Sherpa blanket, covering my legs because the cat was trying to use them as a scratching post.
Yeah, see, Laura's got the blanket behind her for Holiday in the Park.
That's
who else I have to give? You know who I have to give a shout out and a thank you to? The great crew over at Bourbon Street Cafe, also known as Starbucks, for dealing with me all season long.
I will say, like, they're the best crew anyway because they are dealing with mobile order, Starbucks, and walk up,
and beignets,
that they have to make made to order, and they
deal with Bob
and Bob.
They deal with me.
They just have it down.
Yeah,
they're managing like so much, and there are times that I'll stand there. I'm like, okay, well, beignets will be in 3 or 4 minutes, and they're like, here you go, beignets are done. And like I'll mobile order and the walk-up window. So they've got the walk-up window, they've got 2 lines. And the fact that they do this with a smile and they've just got like this banter with each other, I would say that they are like the number one. Last year's crew is Capone's. This year's crew is Bourbon Street. They are crew of the year.
Yeah, I'm going to say when it gets to I don't know if it's just they are awesome, they have great memory, or just the fact that I was in there a million times.
Lot.
When you're going through the line and one of the crew members looks at you and your normal drink or your caramel macchiato, and I'm like, yep. So then by the time I get there and pay, and the drink was basically ready. But Vanessa there, she's one of the managers. She is awesome. She is amazing.
Jade was awesome too.
Yes, Jade was great just as well.
Rockford needs more love. Yes, we need to have like a Rockford day. It's hard to plan that out. We kind of had it last year because we had the photo shoot last year and the video shoot
in the cold weather, in the water, in the wave pool.
But we did both parks.
I still have PTSD from that day.
We did. We got at least 2 parks in. So if you go on the website for Rockford, you will see like in the wave pool, those are pretty much they're all junkies, very cold junkies. I know I'm holding a tube. But yeah, I think we do. I did run into I ran into Tom Burns at Rockford. It's fun. I think I always run into junkies. That's like the only place that I run into junkies is going to Rockford, and you can still like sit in front of the wave pool at Rockford without having to pay. So it's super nice. Like free view.
Does corporate know that?
Oh, now they do. I ruin everything.
Now they do.
Going,
great.
That'll be like the 4th
Rockford
thing.
just lost its wave pool seating.
That'll be like the 4th thing that I've like innocently popped out of my mouth and like, wait, we didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah. Now that is
I would.
something I feel for the families with the littles at our Hurricane Harbor. That's not cool. My kids are teenagers. I don't have to watch them anymore. In fact, I kind of hope they go away. But for the families with littles, you can't lock off the wave pool from the parents who need to observe their kid.
Especially since Hurricane Harbor, one thing that we do not have in Gurnee that Rockford does is we have Skull Island, but it's cold. We don't have a splash pad, like just a little splash pool. We don't have that. We have
And what?
Skull Island, which still has all the stuff going on and the safety issues with slides, but we don't have a place where really littles can just splash around, and that front of the wave pool is it.
Hopefully there'll be a change of heart. But on Salim's first visit to the park this year, we talked to him in the water park, and he was telling us he was thinking about making part of the seats by Skull Island pay to sit as well. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
He asked our opinion, and we told him. So
Yeah, I can't understand. So they're so empty. On most days, they're so empty. So what? It's just making people mad. It's not adding. I mean, I guess on the super, like the day that was there a day that it was close to capacity? There was a day that it was at capacity, I think, maybe one. Because I think I got it one day this season, I got a desperate text from a certain lifeguard. It's like, can you tell all the junkies to stop coming? It's super full here. But I think they did. If they didn't close down, they restricted some access in because there was nowhere else. But like, it's such a pleasant part of the park, and make little party parts and make some of it pay. That's fine, but to make it all closed off, that it's for what? They're not making anything when it just sits there.
Well, and if you're going to do it, you have to monitor it better, because I'm not paying, and then to have someone sit next to me that didn't bother to pay.
Because at a certain point, they just give up.
Yeah.
Because they put like what one attendant has to try to monitor, and you can't, because people throw their stuff and go get in, and then like it's a very hard thing to do.
Or if they see the attendant coming, they take off immediately.
Yeah, unless there's like a gate and it's like a tapu, like universe, like you've got to go in and out. That's the only way that they could do that, and I don't think they want to. Or like a magic band where you're going in and out. Yeah, I think that's one of the things is I think that honestly, when we talk about not giving the water parks that much love, that was part of why I just didn't really think of going to the water park. It was no longer when I used to have this image of going in and just grabbing a lounge around the wave pool, that wasn't really a part of that image anymore, and I'm not going to pay $40 or did it go to 50 sometimes? Yeah, it made it not feel pleasant or exciting for me, so I just didn't go.
Yeah,
I used to go a lot, and I think I only went 3 times, if that, this season.
Playing off of what Jamie just said, protecting the value of things you sell. If you sell premium parking, you got to protect the value and make sure that the people who are in there paid for it. You sell the premium seating, protect the value, make sure the people who are in there paid for it. Just basically don't. Whoops, goodness. Don't just like they did the Taste of Six Flags. If you're going to have that event, and they did very good there, they kept a gate and they kept it protected, and those who paid were allowed in. Just keep it that way. It helps me. Whoop.
Well, and our other thought too was like having to leave the park to go back in the water park. Like, we have a little person, so dragging all of her stuff with us and going back out to the car and back in through a separate gate. Like, they have that access through the park. Make it for pass holders only. Don't take any cash there. Like, do something to make that a little more accessible.
My understanding is there were certain guests that were still using that. That wasn't.
Not this guest. Not this
Not
one.
me. Yep.
No, there were certain guests that were still using it as a way to get into the other gate without paying. And
Oh,
jeez.
crafty.
some were caught, but
Good. I'm a rule following junkie.
no,
Again, after hours dessert party, Hurricane Harbor during fireworks.
we would pay. So for that,
We would pay.
would
We
pay.
would pay.
I would pay. Now I'm saying don't want $40 for a chair, but like I could just think like a hot, a fireworks night, having just like we all want to see it and we just don't want to deal with the crowd. Like that'd be super fun.
The only thing I think on that, depending on where you are in Hurricane Harbor, I don't know if it's a safety thing with the fireworks coming up, basically that road behind the fence.
Yeah, but if you were in the
If you're further away.
If you were in the is that the newer part? Then I guess you would have to be.
So they just limit where they have the seating.
Yeah.
would
Yeah.
have
Just kind of.
They control it.
Yeah, it would have to be back. Like if you had it back by Skull Island.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never been in there in the dark, but I don't know if they have enough lighting to even monitor the
Okay,
pools.
fine. Southwest Territory, even better because you're going to create your FOMO for everyone. Like, why can't I get in?
Well, they had that one year. They did have that one year.
Yeah, they did. I do remember they had that. It was a Diamond Elite thing that you could. Like you have it built in where you have that little stage and you have that mission, so you have a place for it. That would be great. I know Darien Lake when I went that was part of their Diamond Elite that they had special seating for their laser show.
And then they can do food out of the little.
Yeah, they've got kitchens.
Right there.
There must be some lighting in the water park because they had it open for Fright Fest one year, and there was a haunted house in
There was.
the gift shop.
Wasn't that the daytime haunted house, or was that
No.
the night-
No, it was nighttime.
Oh, that was like the 21 or the 18 and up one.
Well,
No.
JB's, I just had a
go.
message that JB's does have an outdoor patio.
They
That could
do.
host a dessert. event.
I just think like there are some areas of the park I would love to see. I mean, my next, I would love to see Moose Burger, and with that snowshoe saloon just be brought back to life. That is a great place for some entertainment, character dining, for a special like reservation because they can close it off. That's a great underutilized space. There's a bar there. I would like that to become. If we talk, we'll see these kind of things show up in topics, but like I would love to see Moose Burger just get a revamp because we get burgers and it doesn't have anything special in its menu, but that's my future gastropub right there for everyone who's wondering. Yeah, the saloon was used for the holiday hoedown, but like that saloon used to be that was a show all the time. That's a stage that's being not underutilized. So we did love the Wilderness Theater, and also over by the Mission in Southwest there used to have mariachis play on that little stage that now has a picnic table, but it's another place for some added value.
I will say that area that they use for Oktoberfest, that's perfect to host really any festival. It's designed. It's really designed to host a festival.
Just off the beaten path, but you can isolate and make your own environment, your own world down there.
Yeah, I thought that was great.
And it has the
that's
stage
the area
there too.
Yep.
For the music.
That area and Southwest. But I'm sure, don't we have something that might be in Southwest? Don't we have something already on the calendar that could potentially be there? We don't know anything, but wasn't there something? Did we have I have to look at what the calendar
We're
was.
talking one of the upcoming
Looking
events.
in the app, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know which one of these.
I don't
Viva
remember
La
all the
Fiesta?
Viva La
Yeah,
Fiesta?
maybe, yeah. Maybe that'll be there.
I mean, that'd
Just
be
a lot
a good call because you get right over that area, put that in there. Plus, you have your walking tacos that you can get and the quesadillas.
Yeah.
Which I don't care if it's for a short time. I would love to see the quesadillas make the return to the food truck. That's actually where I met Brent when the group first started. We met in line for the food truck,
just over by the Joker.
They hit a little different when they were in the food truck. I also would like to see the quesadillas with tortilla chips when they were the Diablo when they served them with like the rainbow tortilla chips with some sour cream and some hot sauce. That was so good. Oh, Theater Royale, Vita. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if we'd ever we're super lucky that we kept our stage shows because that disappeared for a while for others. So we lost Holiday in the Park, but some of the other parks lost. Like St. Louis didn't really have a stage show until Fright Fest, correct?
I think so.
So asking for double the shows, I don't know if we'd get them back, but Theater Royale.
We gotta get Steelworks on mobile order.
Oh yeah.
I would like my beer to go, please.
That is beautiful, by the way. I think that's another glow. Is that that patio with the open, with I think that's the bar that they probably should have put in Strutters, but there just wasn't the space. That's a really nice area. And I've seen a lot of people just gather over there.
Yeah, and a huge glow. I know we covered DC, but thank goodness those buildings aren't there anymore. You took that from a ridiculously small corridor and another tight corridor and an awkward walk to just this glorious open space, a bar, excitement, ride here, ride there. It's so much better.
Yeah. I love the theming. We need to see something in Yukon. Yukon needs some love. Yukon needs some major love.
Yeah, the children's area in Yukon needs an update or the move or expanded. I mean, I'm all for removing the go-karts and
the Yukon theme.
Bring back the old Bugs Bunny land that we used to
oh man
have.
Yeah, I mentioned my teenagers. Those are some of the best memories I have of them as little kids, is getting into that Bugs Bunny area and shooting those foam balls at each other. What a great time.
Yeah. Yeah.
You took them out, didn't you, Brent?
I what did?
You took them out.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm not going to spare them just because they're little.
That's my memory, because my oldest was very little, and then they took that out. So I think she's the only one that went in. She was really little, and it was like, you'd have to watch out, not because of other kids. It would be the dads would go in there, and that was where dads.
Oh, amen. I'm not losing to no punk little kid.
That was a great place. Let's bring that back. It was like Battle Royale with all the dads. More accessible, fully inclusive play areas. I would agree. We don't really have that much of a playground, and it's not a very accessible playground back in Kidsopolis. Just having
I'm sorry, that's Wiggles World. Just call it what it is.
That was a great show. Another stage that's covered up. That was a great show, great little theater. Yeah, like a quieter little place where some really littles can run around and not get hurt. Fort Fun. That'd be a great, so like bringing back Fort Fun in a Yukon type, like keeping that Yukon theming, that would be great. We're running the bill up for Six Flags right now.
Ka-ching, ka-ching. Hey, Celine.
but that's okay. We'll pay for the dessert party. So.
That's right. You will definitely pay for a dessert party. Dessert party, wine parties.
Yeah.
Moonshine tasting. I'm just throwing things out there at this point. Yes.
We're starting with curb insulation and pavement restorations.
All right.
Awesome.
Anything from the chat? What like
Yeah, anything from the chat?
clothes,
Anything that
things that you want to see? I mean, we're just talking about best part of the year.
or even in the chat, any ideas on things that you'd like to see us do live and discuss during the off season? Because obviously we're not going to be able to bring you any breaking news, but if it's, we can find a great topic to get together and talk about, we have no problem doing some lives during the long because the park's now closed and we used to be able to be in the park.
We usually do one meetup in the winter. We have to kind of know how many people are coming because last time, Jamie, we were just like, yeah, we'll meet at Gurney Mills. And then Gurney
Next time
Mills
we got a message from Gurney Mills.
like, how many people are coming?
15,000 are coming.
All 10,000 people are coming to.
Yeah, I'm looking in this chat. I know the next place that we have that thread of different places that we're spending our money instead of Six Flags since it's not open. I know the next place that people might see junkies is at Gurney. What date? I know I wrote it. But
December 8th.
December 8th.
Not to say we might be there, but December 8th. And
that's like
at 5 o'clock, the train comes.
I have to be a parent. Yeah, Viking School in Gurney, so very close to the park. It's just a little bit further west on off of Grand. And it's also Old Grand then, right?
Yes, Old Grand.
Well, no, it's east of the park. It's a little further east of the park. So a little further east. And I think it would be great to see some junkies there. Wear all your holiday in the park stuff because all the Gurney people will be there. See the Canadian Pacific. Oh, trivia with prizes included.
Oh, the holiday.
Oh, we can probably work something like that out.
Yeah, the holiday cream passes the tracks by our house, but it's usually at 2 or 3 a.m.
You guys can come to that too.
And then drive right on back
from our house.
We live in the future, so we get things at awesome times.
We will be investing in some we are still going to be giving out pins when the season starts, or if we have anything before the season, we'll have pins. But we're looking at getting some fun prizes, junkie swag. Thank you to anyone who ordered on Black Friday. We see a lot of people ordering.
Great turnout there with that.
All we do with that when we sell merchandise is we put it back into things we can give back to the group. So that's where the pins came from. And
yep. Back in the day, and Sarah can attest to this, it used to be before we were passing a hat within the team to collect money for pins or any other giveaways. But thanks to your generosity of supporting our online shop.
Of course, we say that, and we haven't done a raffle for a while. We need a giveaway. We also in the past, some of the things that we'd like to see come back. In the past, we had we don't know what the employee ticket situation, but we had employees that would share their tickets. And then I think one year, a couple times we did nominate someone who needs a day at Six Flags. They need happiness. And we've been able to. So if you have those kinds of things that have not cost you money, but you have some things that you can give away and share. We like to do things where they're giving back or surprising people. And we'll find some things to do. We don't want to give away and have to. It's hard during the off season because we have to ship things around. But we would love to do some more connecting in that way.
Yeah, and also be sure that you're following us on all of our various social media platforms. We've got the YouTube channel where it's mostly our videos here, but I'm trying to work on some other content eventually up there. We've got TikTok, and there's a whole bunch of us on this team that will post random TikToks from every once in a while. We have the Instagram account, and We've got 10,000 people in the group. We've got about 250 on Instagram, 250 on TikTok. We'd like to see those numbers grow some.
Our Facebook, if you don't like our public facing page, I know we don't tend to put exclusive things there, but it does help us out. They actually do. Somehow, we don't know. They give us money. So that also pays for some giveaways. So just like it. We
just
know
like
that
the Facebook page.
just like it. We don't do a lot of interacting on there, but I do find that feed is really good for finding events, and that's where I do post the daily alert there when we're on daily alert. So really just kind of the information, just the facts. It's a good thing to like, so then you can filter out the discussion and just get, okay, what do I need to know? What's going on? What's the current past thing on there? What's the sale?
Yeah, it's always going to be the group is where all the exclusive content's always going to be, and all the exclusive offers. It's just we have that public facing page because some people, like Sarah said, don't like being part of that discussion. They just want that daily alert, or if we're putting one of a press release up there that we receive from the park, they want to see that. So
yeah, it's just an easier way for people to filter. Do I want news or do I want discussion? And that's kind of the difference between the two.
Yeah. And none of you asked for this, but I just want to do a round of applause real quick for the Daily Alert team. I think I assisted twice, maybe.
A lot of help this year.
You guys, with the Daily Alert I didn't, but you guys were awesome, always having that there. That is such a benefit to everyone.
This was the hardest year for it because we do have a nice archive going now of like, what was going on. And every year we put in a little bit more detail as we're, thinking, was this a rainy day? What was the weather? But because the attendance rules have changed so much between 2019 to 20, you don't count 2020. I didn't do daily alerts, 2021 and 2022. It's been a little harder to gauge. So, and what is busy for 2022 was different than what was busy for 2021.
Well, you're doing better. You're closer to the GA attendance than Skilling is to the weather. So kudos for you.
Just have to know how to read the parking lot. That's it.
You guys
Yeah,
are
you
live in
guys are
Chipotle
welcome.
with us. Does anybody need dinner?
Yeah, I'll take a steak burrito bowl, please.
Line them up. Put them in the comments.
Build your own taco.
Buy that Junkies merch so that we can get the money to pay for dinner tonight. I'll send it all to you.
There we go.
Is there still a sale in the Junkies and stores, or is that one over? Is this still Cyber Monday?
No, I need to. Again, I could probably check on that real quick.
By the way, if you don't have to go to Spreadshirt, we have it set up on our page and in our group that you can just like click on it and it'll take you right to the item that you want. So you can buy it from our pages. I know that we have a lot of people who are asking where we get things sometimes. I know one time someone stopped me in the park and offered me money for my Junkies pin. I'm like, no. Wait a couple weeks, you'll get one. But it's just fun. You can technically buy pins on it. I think the best sale that I've ever seen was Black Friday with 35% off. I think before that we maybe had seen 20 or 25. So
yeah, the Cyber Monday sale is still running through December 4th, and that is 15% off everything and free shipping.
And the free shipping is a big deal because shipping is usually like $8 to $10. So that gives you a good added discount. I would be careful with women's products. The sizing is really small and anything that says women's, so you might want to go to men's or unisex if you're somebody who likes things a little roomier.
Yeah, and the one thing about our shop, it is run by a third-party vendor, so we're not involved with any of the sizing, selling, shipping. That is all through our vendor that we have.
I don't think we'll ever have something we like collect money for. Just to us, we don't want to make sales on park property. It feels weird to us. So
yeah. And for those that don't know, when you're in the shop, you actually can customize most of the merchandise on there. So if you're buying a shirt or a hoodie and you want to put your name on there or something else on there, there are customization options for almost everything. And there's all sorts of different logos to pick from. There's, our official logo that we have that all the pins are and that you see in the upper corner of the screen here during this broadcast. We have our kind of Fright Fest logo. We have the "Oh, what fun it is to ride."
That's
which-
my favorite because you can wear that all the time and just remind
you
people
can.
that Holiday in the Park was really special.
See, and that's what I ordered last in June or July, and I had it save Holiday in the Park custom ordered on the back.
Oh, nice. I mean, even if you got Holiday Square, St. Louis got Holiday Square, I would take Holiday Square. Just the front open.
Yeah, just open the front of the park, sell some Holiday in the Park merchandise, give us hot chocolate with the mugs. We'd be happy.
Funnel cake,
Funnel cake here.
mistletones.
Yeah, we don't have to go full blown show production, but yeah, the mistletones. I mean, for
Santa.
those who were at the Veterans Day weekend, the Spirit of Six performers did heck of an a cappella job.
Yeah. So we've had a great season. We look forward to having another. I mean, I just look forward to great things. I see just that infographic of all the events, bigger and better, like more of them. It's nice. I don't see the park getting stale. There's going to be something new going on quite frequently. And we'll if you think of some theme days that you'd like to have, we can always do meetups that way. We did do some more ride takeovers. We did few train takeovers.
Pretty
right?
big train takeovers.
Yes,
Yeah.
we've done train takeovers. I've seen it out there where they're wanting to do a takeover on the bumper cars, but the problem is there's more junkies than bumper cars, so there's going to be people being left out. So that's why we don't take over the bumper cars.
You'd almost have to have A group and B group. We did a demon takeover.
We sort of a smaller demon takeover, but
that was my first time on demon in a long time. And that'll probably be my last time on demon in a long time. But it was great. I didn't have to wait in line.
You know what we make a goal of if we can get Eagle running on both sides. Junkie takeover where we're on
complete
both.
takeover of the
That
room.
takes some
Complete
skill.
takeover.
That'd be
So
cool.
for everyone who knows, because we are always guests in the park. I have to say that on behalf of sometimes, we get a gentle reminder that we're always a guest in the park, and we like to remind ourselves too. We are always guests in the park. So a proper way to do a takeover is that you let those who are waiting, in order to get it to work, you let people go in front of you. So you have to be really good about letting people go in front and getting that balance just right to get onto the ride. Raging Bull, what the thing with the takeovers also, if you're a flash pass person, you have to.
You got to stand in line. It's because
stand
not
in
everyone
line.
has it, so we have to stand in the standby line.
And standing in line is part of the adventure.
When you're with a whole bunch of junkies, it's most of the fun.
Yeah. So takeovers are best done kind of in the evening on a weekday, probably, or on a Sunday, like evening. You don't want to do Saturday takeover is going to be not going to work, but
no, unless it's like a real off time or
or if it was raining all day, and then you can get on a takeover. But yeah, more of those. I like meeting in the shows, and again, just remembering that we're guests in the park. We don't always have to sit front and if we did a takeover in a show, we don't always have to sit front of the park. I understand, or front of the stage. Like one of the takeovers was off to the side, correct? For one of the shows.
Yeah, a lot of times, we'll take to the sides or, whatnot. I think one of these times we do a show takeover and we go a back row takeover and take up as much of the back of the theater as we possibly can.
That's actually kind of fun because it's a whole other thing for the performers when there are people way back there. I mean, it's a whole other experience up on stage. That would be really great. So we definitely want to repeat Christmas in July. That was a really special day. I mean, I think of my favorite day of the year was that. And what did we do on that day? We walked around the park. We went to a show. We rode the train together. There was a roaring rapids.
Invaded the food truck.
And then
we caught it.
And
Caught
then
a run on the
Roaring
food truck.
Rapids.
We broke Roaring Rapids.
We ate all the mac and cheese.
I actually do feel bad about that we ran
I did
the
too.
food truck out of mac and cheese with all the junkies that
Oops.
We should have
Did that
told
at one
them.
time.
They were going to make more, but they're like, it takes 50 minutes. Next time we know to send the first person up to say, you're going to want to put the new thing of mac and cheese on now, because if they had known, I don't think they can see how long the line was. So we did that, and we did a picture. I would love to do that. I would love to do figure out the first day that the park could do a 1970, like a 70s day, like a founding day. That would be so fun. And a Dapper Day. Dapper Day might be hard. We'll see.
Okay, I'm gonna sign off because we have to order food. So,
all right. Well, enjoy that,
everybody.
Chipotle. Thanks for
Tell
joining
them
us.
goodbye, sir.
Okay.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
I mean, anyone have any other takeaways from the season? I think it's a great season.
Yeah. Anyone here? Anyone in the chat? I know we've been going kind of long, but you know what? It's our last really.
I haven't
show
had
of
one
the
of
year.
these for a long time.
Right. I think the last one was kind of the first week or so of Fright Fest, and then we just kind of.
I think we were putting this one off because we didn't want it to be the end of the season.
Yeah.
I think we
We
were
had hopes, even though
We had
the
hopes
writing
that
was
it-
on
We
the
were in
wall.
denial.
We did get 2 extra weekends. So we are very thankful for the 2 extra weekends we had. But yeah, we were putting this one off. Okay.
And
But
I
we
will say
think-
there's like a Fright Fest family, but this season I feel like I've said it to Bob many times, I feel like everyone has grown so much closer. And it just makes it great. Like, if Bob doesn't want to go on a ride, I know I always have somebody to go on a ride with. It's not like I feel like I'm just by myself. I could go with Brent. I could go with JJ. I could go with one of Kim's kids. I could become parent guardian to one of Sarah's kids.
Well, one of Sarah's kids thinks you're amazing anyway. Because you took him on Batman.
Yeah. And it is interesting because I have one that has not wanted to come to the park. And I think Dana said that one of hers was worried, well, but I want to ride rides. And mine realized real quick that all you have to say is, I'm near Bull. Does anyone want to ride Raging Bull with me? And there's a whole bunch of people. I'll go.
Yeah, a whole bunch of people taking.
Yeah. So it really is if you want to ride a ride, you want to just walk up there, and people go their own way and come back, and it's fun.
It really is a second family.
Well, we need a bigger food truck. Yes, we're gonna need.
Yeah, we definitely need a bigger food truck, or 2 or 3, or a food truck festival at the park.
Food truck festival.
They have those at Dollywood. Sorry,
Yeah.
I wasn't going to bring up anything.
During holiday in the park, that's when they need to have the food truck festival.
There we go.
Happen to line
I have the perfect idea here.
Yep.
Let's open up our little holiday square. Let's just bring in food trucks.
Right, they don't even have to staff it. That's
Use
what
the
St.
parking
Louis
lot.
did.
Use the parking lot. We don't
Got
even
all
need to get in
this
the park.
land. You've got this land. Rent it. Let people know, and then that's what St. Louis I thought that was super, super smart of them. So, I mean, I know we have people from Gurnee that watch, but if you're in St. Louis, you're smart, because they had rented. They had the big parking lot, and they had another company do a lights drive through. Because you've got all this land. Go make some money with it. And then they're well, actually, I'm going to open the front of the park for this holiday square.
Well, didn't they did the Jurassic Park thing remember that one year?
Yeah, Gurnee did. Yeah.
Where they had to half the back parking lot.
Yeah, that was weird when there was both things going on. Yeah, they did. Through the inflatable dinos that you could say hi to. But yeah, totally just say, hey.
We're just full of ideas this evening. Just,
Yeah. A dessert party?
Dessert party, food trucks in the parking lot.
When we went down to Georgia we actually got s'mores, and Rich is like, we only need like 3 of them. Here, take 4, and then they took off. They just started handing them to us.
Wow. Well, I mean, we're going to have a dessert party for 4th of July regardless. So here's how it's going to happen. We pay for those amazing desserts and exclusive fireworks seating, or we tailgate with a big
Desserts.
dessert.
She has the biggest sweet.
We'll bring bougie desserts in.
So it's who wants the money for our dessert party?
I have one question. I know it's going to probably bring up a big, huge topic, but when you guys were talking, when they did this year, where they did the one, you had to fit your bag inside this little box. Remember that? And when you guys had it that one,
It lasted for 2 days.
Weekend.
Yeah.
Weekend.
I just don't get why they just do like things sporadically. Like one weekend we're going to do it. Oh no, we're not going to do it. It's just
I think it was nice when they used to pilot things at different parks, although we are still seeing that happen. One of the exciting things that we all, I think this would be great to like let Texas have to do that with their bags. But I guess it was a lot of manpower for them. A lot of employees needed to do that for what gain. So we do like that when things don't work, there's an adjustment. That's nice to see, because we don't have to double down on everything. But I will say one of the things that we do start seeing piloting that I hope comes to our park is having an RFID chip in the cups. So that's actually what starts and stops, like many other theme parks have. That's what starts and stops your drinks. That would be, I mean, I do like my stainless cup and I don't want to replace it and I don't want to do a sticker, but I would pour if I needed to. I think that would be really nice because to Brent's point of protecting value, the amount of people with like in JBs with just their regular water bottle that just go up and grab themselves some Dr. Pepper, or no, we don't have Dr. Pepper, Coke or whatever. And they used to do with the ices, then we lost having the ices out because they were filling other water cups with ices. It'd be nice for the park to be able to protect that also with the RFID. Crumble cookie at the park would be like $20.
Yeah, I know a couple of parks are testing that RFID, so we'll see how successful it is and what come opening season. If we've got the chips on the cups, we've got the.
Brent, I'm thinking that Stan's van needs to show up in the parking lot in the mornings.
Stan's with the donuts, yes.
Stan's van. All right.
Anything else from anyone? But
there is a crumble and gurney, in case people don't know. It's not that far from the park.
I might have been there a few times.
Just like the Starbucks, you might have been there a few times.
There's also now a Cooper's Hawk and gurney. So like,
oh, Laura knows Cooper's Hawk.
You in the club?
Maybe.
But like, that's the demographic that's there. So let's get those sippy cups. I'd buy one just to have the sippy cup. Like, I just want the cups. I never got a Stein because I didn't want to spend $16 on beer that I would throw away. I wanted the cup so bad. For no reason.
Somebody's trying to say, so what's the Bob cookie? But for those who go to Crumble Cookie, their menu changes weekly. So
yeah, it would have to be chocolate chip, and no one gets chocolate chip.
Right. You can get chocolate chip anywhere. You got to get the specialty for the week.
So I
know there's a mint chocolate one there this week.
I know I need to pick that one up.
Yeah,
I haven't tried. I hate pumpkin everything. I can't even get near the funnel cake. I hate it so bad and I don't know why. And so like I have not been able, like I would not get a funnel cake when there was also pumpkin funnel cake for the fear that there might be a little bit of pumpkin batter in my batter. I also like won't go any bakeries that have pumpkin. Like I don't want to accidentally have a pumpkin munchkin. I don't want these So I have stayed away from crumble because they have had just nothing but pumpkin cookies, and I can't have it touching my cookies because I hate it that much.
Well, I think the pumpkin is gone, so I think you're safe. You can make a return.
I'm safe now. I have to like lock myself away, which means
Yes, there is a Cooper Hawk in Gurney.
Just
It
opened.
just opened.
Feel free to message me and I'll tell you where.
it is now. That one is west of the park. Get my directions right, going away
Yes.
from the lake.
Yep.
It's a
West
little
of,
bit
west
down.
of Gurney Mills.
Yeah. If they had Portillo's, I'd cancel my season dining pass. We have a Portillo's in Gurney. It's just the worst Portillo's. They're really bad. Don't go to that Portillo's.
I actually sat in the place and commented to them about their service there.
They'll mess up your order. You'll be missing things. And then they won't. They'll be like, what? They don't care. They're not. I'm going to go put them on blast. Yeah, don't go to that Portillo's.
Yeah, I literally sat there telling them how bad service we had, and then Autumn gives the email. Okay.
Don't talk about the pumpkin. I can't do pumpkin. I don't like it. All right. We've tried to sign off a couple times.
We have. It just keeps going, but
We miss you
Gurney-
guys.
we
Now we're
miss
gonna get
everybody.
We'll get something from the Gurney's Got It. People are like, why are you bashing on the Gurney businesses?
We're not. We're promoting Crumble Cookie. We're promoting Cooper's Hawk. You know,
And we're not promoting Portillo's.
You're
not
not.
promoting Portillo's, but that's okay. They have enough locations throughout the Chicagoland area. They're fine. They'll be fine.
Yep.
But we do want to thank all of you for putting up with us all for hour and 42 minutes now. If that timer is right, that I'm seeing on the screen. Thank you so much for your support. Again, we're open to any kind of topics or anything. Just either message us, put in the Facebook group. We come up with some ideas of things to do during the off season. I know trivia is kind of one of the ones that came up, but you know, it's you members that actually make the group what it is. I mean, the 6 of us right here could just sit and talk, and it's not really a group or anything, but it is all of our members that make the group what it is. So thank you.
Hopefully we'll see you guys in February when we kind of do the mid-break meetup.
Yeah. I
Yes,
hope
and we'll
so.
see. Depending on how many, we'll see if Gurney Mills allows us to come back.
I know. Maybe we'll just have it at Cooper's Hawk.
Cooper's Hawk. You know what we'll do? We'll take over one of the banquet rooms at James Hotel
Ooh.
at the Holiday Inn. Let's just take over a banquet room there.
I bet he didn't know that was happening.
You didn't know that's coming. He's like, what?
All right, guys. Happy
All right.
holidays.
All right. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Merry Christmas.
Bye.
Bye.